usual cold open nonsense.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's it's going to be hard to get back into the habit of things. It's been such a long, extended break. 6 weeks.
6 weeks, yeah.
If anything,
I know. Well, in fairness, I did kind of, for our mental health, we did kind of need to take that one after
much strife.
Yeah.
We had to put up with that SummerSlam main event.
Oh God.
There was.
Great match, shitty main event. Shitty finish, I should say.
It'd be like if you were having sex with a really attractive human.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, instead of coming, you both shit yourselves.
Yeah.
That's what the end of
essentially.
You're just like, oh, this is amazing. I shit myself. I hate myself.
Yeah.
That weird mix of shame.
Yeah.
And just self-hatred and all that accompanies shitting yourself. And if you're a Canon listener out there, and you haven't shit yourself, what you are is a liar.
Yeah.
So you can add your...
Yeah, all you Canonites out there who claim...
Canonites.
Yeah, who claim you've never shit yourself.
Yeah.
We all know the truth. Yeah, you've shit yourself.
Everybody shit themselves.
Yeah.
It's just the way of the world.
Or even if it's just one of those ones where, it's a warm day out and you didn't wipe as thoroughly as you should.
Yeah,
and
you
there's
get
just a little bit left.
Get the slime.
Exactly. You don't need that in your life. Or in your arse crack either.
No. This isn't the Veronica Moser hour, though. That is, unfortunately, I do know the name of the #1 scat porn actress.
Really?
Yeah, I remember back in college, I read a Wikipedia article about her, because I was reading about global sexuality.
Yeah.
And it was there going, and of course the Bavarian peoples are quite popular amongst corpophagia enthusiasts.
Yeah.
And this woman's name came up and I read her biography, and I'm not kidding, I've never been more horrified by someone's biography.
And we've all read Hitler's Wikipedia page at some point.
I've read fucking what was this? Nemesis and Hubris.
Yeah.
The double bill biography of Hitler, And I still wasn't as horrified as I was by Miss Moser's fucking.
Are we talking like absolute, Winter of the Soul level horror?
Oh God! Look, there is a reason for this to be in here, though. It's not just a non sequitur about the most horror.
Okay.
Looking at my notes.
Sorry, I apologise.
But there's a character in this film that has a relevancy to Miss Moser.
All right.
But anyway, how's life been treating yourself in the last few weeks?
Life has been treating me good. I was playing the Galway Fringes,
Uh-huh.
I did about 4 or 5 gigs. Did some of the best gigs in my life and made a sum total of about 50 quid. So, it's... my career is doing well.
Yeah,
my career is shooting.
You might have done a little bit better if you'd actually sucked some dick for cash.
I think I might have.
You might have made 50 quid for 2. I don't know now.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're an inexperienced fellatio technician.
Yeah. I did do the job bridge on it, but it was.
You'd be teeth in the first few, and they might only give you a $5 a pop.
Exactly.
But I'd say once you put your fucking back into it, you'd become a great cocksucker.
Quite literally, because it's all about the core.
Yeah. But what was it?
But enough about Wade Barrett.
Yeah. So. Oh God. Oh, the core. Oh. Oh my God. The flavourless low fat ice cream of wrestling.
Yeah, pretty much.
But obviously I should mention, if this is your first episode of the Canon, I'm Johnny Capcom and you would be Sean Sheridan.
Hello.
And this is a podcast where we run down the canon of Canon films.
Yeah.
Now you can't tell, but I pronounced the different spellings in those words. They sound very similar, I know, but true listeners, the guys who've been with us since Invasion USA, they know the difference. They know my inflections at this point.
But you have to think, a lot of our listeners are not Irish people, so the subtleties of your inflection, they just hear potato.
Yeah.
And ploughing championships, hurling, that's all they hear.
And alcoholism. And which I can't blame them, sure, that's all they know,
Yeah, and especially when you travelled over there and, confirmed that for them.
Oh, it's like when I listen to American podcasts, all I hear is Rodney King, police brutality, school shooting, Second time of school shootings in a row.
Yeah, for some that seems to be a running theme in this show.
You know,
I don't know why.
That's what we should do. We should start up a Twitter feed, and it's just countries, but it's just the hashtags that define that country.
Yeah.
And like Ireland is just like Johnny Logan hashtag, Marty Whelan hashtag.
Oh God, Marty Whelan.
You know, hashtag winning streak.
Yeah.
And eagle-eared viewers, of course, will remember winning streak from the break. And
and you know, winning streak, you know, Johnny Logan, the Ra. You know, things like that.
Course,
we do stuff
Finn
like that.
Balor,
Absolutely.
all the things we're proud of, and you know, it's yeah. I mean, why not? Why not boil down a culture?
Absolutely.
To a hashtag.
And by the way, if you want to learn something, you know, oddly specific about Irish culture, go on Google Images and type in Marty Morrissey. You will see the ugliest Irish man in the world, and you know, that's an achievement, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, I know. Well, it's been a while since we sat down to record. I'll be honest with you, there was a bit of strife here in the Canon household that we had to take care of, but we won't go into that.
Absolutely.
We had to. Don't worry, me and Sean weren't breaking up.
No, no, don't worry about that.
But you know, this relationship is as strong as ever. I'll have you know,
solid as a rock.
But we had to take care of some shit, and on top of that, I'll be honest with you. After watching The Barbarians, I didn't want to watch another film for at least 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah,
I went to see Inside Out, and I nearly got thrown out because I just started roaring at the screen. If he starts donkeying, I'm fucking out of here.
You just thought the Barbarian brothers are going to turn up.
Yeah, they haunted me, man. They were fucking awful. They were so
to be honest
bad.
With you, Canon wasn't far from my heart because I was walking around recently thinking about Canon sequels. Yeah. You know, like Runaway Train, right? The film that we're going to discuss today.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, it's fucking amazing.
Oh, hells yes.
But that film is a complete original there. Like, you know, I mean, you can't get more original than that. But I was thinking more about Canon sequels, like, you know. And you know, I was thinking They did like, it's so weird when you look back on it, and you know, reading people's perspectives from Israel and stuff as well about the Golan-Globus. Like, these two Israeli guys come across to America and basically redefine Hollywood in some respects. Yeah. One, with their business models, but two, by adding sequels to the canon of several popular films.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I mean, the Death Wish series,
of course.
Obviously, I've got a bit of an aside about that in a second. But like, you know, I started thinking about like, thinking like unwanted sequels. Yeah. Like, because let's face it, Death Wish 2 was an unwanted sequel.
That is true.
And I started thinking of other unwanted sequels, and just hear me out here. Okay. The first, Back with the Wind. You know.
What, where Red decided he does give a damn.
Yeah. He's like, and, you know, he has to give a damn because Richard Lynch is somehow involved. 13 Angry Men, aka Mega Jewelry. Which is kind of a perjury pun.
Yeah, I like
it. Birdman Returns. That's a more recent film, like, you know, because that's what Birdman needs, a sequel entry, like, you know. And the last one, and I'll be honest with you, to be stretching with this one, but I'm sure Menachem could justify it. North by Northeast. Like, you know, just films that don't need sequels. And like, I don't know, like, myself and good brother who edits the show, as we've mentioned many times before, we were talking about an entry into the like how to bring back a beloved franchise of our youth. Like, you know, I was thinking like they should do a version, and I think I've got the man to play Menachem, right? Yeah. But we were like, let's write a sequel or a threequel, if you will, an unwanted sequel to the Weekend at Bernie's franchise. Okay. All right, and we're saying Weekend at Bronson's. And it's set in the weekend where Charles Bronson died. But Menachem Golan and Golan-Globus are trying to convince financiers that he's still alive so they can make Death Wish 6.
For a second there, I thought you were going to go Weekend at Bernie's 3. It's really starting to pong.
No, but like, just imagine that. They're like, and here's who I want to play Menachem Golan.
Yeah.
Patton Oswalt.
That would be brilliant. That would actually be brilliant.
And if you could get Christian Bale from American Hustle to be Golan-Globus, like,
yes.
Like, I'm just saying, lads.
Oh, pay Winda.
You can have that idea as long as we get points.
Yeah,
And
you know, I just want to mention in the credits for that one. That'd be nice.
It was just when we were laughing our asses off thinking about it, and I was just there going like, you know, just the image of Menachem Golan like moving Charles Bronson's arms around and going, "He's good to go, he's good to go," you know. And you know, like,
you know, and just like a team of people doing animatronics on him.
Oh, they'd have to get Kenny Omega into fighting. And I'm not going to explain that, and you know,
Kenny, you believe in Jesus.
Kenny Omega or Okada Ibushi would have to come in and do their magic around him. Like, you know.
I did have an idea for an unnecessary sequel myself that Canon could do.
Yeah.
Big Trouble in China.
We're on to Runaway Train. This film is a damn sight different than the stuff we've covered before.
Yeah.
Where, like, you know, we've done Invasion USA, we've done Enter the Ninja, we've done American Ninja, we've done fucking Death Wish 2 and Breakin' and all these weird, you know, genre pictures.
Yeah.
And this is, like, a complete Canon original drama film, you know, directed by Andrey Konchalovskiy.
Yeah.
Who's a fascinating character in his own right, because this guy was a Soviet exile.
Yeah.
Who came to America and started making films with Golan-Globus. Like, the guy, again, is a fascinating life story as it is. And is a fucking very accomplished filmmaker.
Yeah, he's won dozens of awards. You know, he's won like Palme d'Ors, you know, best film at Berlin, Venice Film Festival, things like that. He's won awards in Soviet cinema, stuff like that, and it was all building up to him making the 1989 classic Tango and Cash.
Was that him?
That was him.
Fuck.
Well, he directed like the first 3/4 of it, and apparently Stallone didn't like him, so he brought in some other guy to make the last 20 minutes of it.
Fucking crazy.
I know, right?
So Andrey Konchalovskiy worked with Robert Zadar.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's just your two. That's just two of your weird fucking things intersecting there.
Yeah. Well, Konchalovskiy, like, I guess I've seen Tango and Cash.
Yeah.
I'd be honest with you, I didn't really research his filmography too much. I just know that he was an acclaimed director and was kind of Canon's boy.
Yeah.
Like, they had like Buzz Davidson. They had what's the guy who directed Invasion USA? Joe Zito.
Joe Zito, yeah.
They had directors like that, like, who were not, and Toby Hooper, of course.
Of course.
But this Konchalovskiy was an art house guy.
Yeah.
And he was their boy, like, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And you know, like, this film, John Voight, of course, starring in it.
Yeah.
Now, John Voight as an actor, I haven't seen a lot of his work. I've seen Midnight Cowboy. What was he in? He was in The Deer Hunter.
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
He was in the first Mission Impossible movie.
Oh, he was. Yeah.
He's done some brilliant work.
Of course,
he's done some utter dross.
Of course, most famously, he was in that Kung Fu Dog movie with Chevy Chase.
Oh God, yeah.
And the National Treasure series.
Then yes, you know, but Dad, we didn't find the treasure, but you discovered America, son.
And he was also The Natural is another one I remember.
Yeah, The Natural. That was a very hit and miss movie. I enjoyed parts of it, and other parts I was
of
like,
course, a biography of Dustin Runnels, circa '92, King of the Road. But like,
you know, we're gonna need you to put, you know, and it just ends with Vince Russo with a black and gold turkey wrap. We're gonna need you to throw this on.
Yeah.
End.
We've got that, but then obviously the other star of this movie, the co-star, I suppose, Eric Roberts.
Yeah.
Very interesting dude, Eric Roberts.
Yeah.
Like, has a reputation for being a bit of a scumbag.
Yes.
However,
and he looks it.
He does, yeah. But Eric Roberts was always in my cool book because of the best film series.
Yes. Yes.
Like, if you haven't seen, like, what am I talking about? If you're listening to this podcast,
Yeah.
you've seen Best of the Best 1 and 2.
If you have to ask.
You know what I mean?
Come on here.
Best of the Best is fucking awesome because it's
Yeah.
about like an American karate team training to go up against the baddest Koreans
Yeah.
in Korea.
Yeah. I mean, you could remake it these days only with StarCraft.
Yeah.
I mean,
And in Best of the Best Part 2, which I think is better almost, right? Because the first film,
It's not.
The first film is a serious sports drama.
Exactly.
However, the second film is about the characters from the first serious sports drama coming back to America and getting involved in underground super fighting.
Super fun.
And that's what it is. I mean, Brackus, the lead villain in Best of the Best Part 2, like Brackus is essentially, what's his name? The guy who killed Superman. Apocalypse.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or Darkseid or whatever. I can't remember right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some nerd sitting at home
Yeah.
going, actually, it was,
It was the guy with the antimatter equation that was Darkseid, I think of.
Well, Darkseid was the guy who sent Doomsday.
Doomsday. That's
Doomsday.
the point. That's the point.
The big, he has like cool bones on his hands and like he battered Superman to death. Great. I love that cover actually, the one where like it's just Superman's cape flying.
Yeah.
And
that was pretty badass actually, yeah.
But I remember thinking why Batman was such a cool hero. I was reading a Justice League comic years later and a bunch of Doomsdays ran through a portal. Superman shits himself. He's like, oh no, and Batman just picks up a hammer and goes, come on then.
Come on to fuck.
I was like, and he doesn't even have superpowers.
Yeah, 'cause the thing about Batman, might have grown up a billionaire, but he's a sham at heart.
Oh yeah,
you know
Batman
what I mean?
is 2 seconds away at all times from going out in his backyard and taking his shirt off and making a call out video.
Oh fuck yeah.
You won't be joking when I get through with you. I'll tell you that.
I saw you obeying your shitting venom in a bag. Shitting venom in a bag. Venom in a bag.
I'll say this now.
Yeah.
Alright? Harvey.
Yeah.
Alright? You're talking out 2 sides of your face. Okay? And let me tell you this. Your man won't be able to tell one side from the other when I'm done with you. Alright? I'll put sort of baiting on you. Alright?
We'll have a few pints, then we'll go out to the car park and bait the fuck with each other.
Now I look at you, alright?
Yeah.
When I see you, Ras Al Ghul, and your daughter,
Yeah.
okay, what I'd love to do is for me and my son Damien to go into the pub and have pints with you and your daughter, and after that we'll fucking bait the shit out of it. There's a Batman here for any man.
Yeah.
Alright.
See young Tim here. He should be taking his junior cert, but he's ready to box the fucking face out of your Shadow League.
Yeah. Well, this man here, Nightwing, as a young boy, was out fighting for his money. Alright? I let these do the talking for me.
Shit.
I don't know what relevancy that has to anything.
That's the weirdest aside we've ever gone on. I think.
There's a Batman here for any man. Someone's got to fight today, okay?
Are we going to explain this to our foreign listeners?
Well, look, maybe brother will cut something in.
Absolutely.
Okay, look at the real boss here. I am the real boss, Joe Joyce. Never bet in me life, never will be bet. I'll fight till I'm 75 years of age. Any man is in Ireland, England, no matter where he is, I am the boss of all men. Take that from me, boy. Now, you, Martin Avon, in Longford, I asked you to fight me 11 weeks ago. You said you wouldn't fight. You went into the hospital 2 days later. You said you had blood pressure, a diabetic, you were this or that, and you wouldn't be able to fight me. I went down the road, I had to stay away from me woman's arse for 4 weeks, couldn't have sex with me woman over you. I trained for 4 weeks, you give the news back, you went in the bath and you wouldn't fight me. I have a big old beer belly you give me now, but when my son Joe gets out, he'll be out Christmas, the head of God. And Joe's a woeful man, Joe is a man. He is a man that can fight, right? Michael, you cannot fight, because you wouldn't stand to make a fight today with John, right? You cannot fight. There's none of you can fight. Davy's a top-class young fella. Billy, you're good for nothing. You're giving an excuse about your arm. You haven't got the heart of nothing. I'd like not to go on for about 10 minutes till Davy would give you a beating. Now, you said Mickey, I got this one long for about you. You went along and said that a Big Joe's going out the road. All the neighbours was going out. I wouldn't give a fuck if every neighbour in Ireland went out the road. I'd dig out. And I don't give a shite for either man.
Hopefully, that was an audio clip of a Traveller boxing call-out video. Maybe there was one. But that's... Search for that. Yeah. Search for that. And we would also like to point out that we are not in any way trying to antagonise the men who made those original videos.
Yeah, we have never had a problem with the travelling community. We'd like to keep it that way.
We don't want to be attacked like those boxers in Northern
Ireland. Yeah, hatchets can stay away from me. That's all I'm saying.
But anyway, we should probably talk about the movie.
Yeah.
So as far as Runaway Train is concerned, my expectations going into it was, I want to see a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
You know, I remember as a kid sitting down to watch Runaway Train with my mum, and it was like Saturday night on ITV, and I remember the ads looked amazing. Runaway Train this Saturday night, you know.
Yeah.
And that's where I saw a lot of Canon movies. I saw Delta Force on ITV on a Saturday night.
Oh, I remember those nights.
And I saw well, thankfully I never sat down and watched Death Wish with my mum, but I saw a lot of those movies like when I was a kid, and we watched Runaway Train, and the prison riot halfway through, or the first 25 minutes, my mum was like, "That's too violent. We can't watch this."
It's not even much of a prison riot, though.
Where you get stabbed.
Oh yeah.
And it's really gruesome.
Yeah, that is pretty grim.
And she was like, no. But I have to say, I'm glad I didn't watch it as a kid because the whole way through, because I think the ending in particular will be lost on me.
Oh yeah.
But there's so much subtext to this film, and it's I mean, I have to say, what I'm looking forward to the most is not talking about the barbarians.
Yes.
Like, what were your...
well, my expectations, I had heard of this film. I'd never seen it, but as our listeners probably know, this podcast came about because we both watched the Electric Boogaloo documentary. And it just sort of spawned from a conversation from that.
Yeah.
And in that documentary, when they were talking about the good films that Canon made, there was like the Death Wish
3000.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But like, the iconic ones, the ones that really did some business for them and got their name out there and stuff like that. They were talking about Breakin', they were talking about the Death Wish movies, they talked about like Delta Force.
Yeah.
And at the tippy top in everyone's estimation was this film. I was like, I was extremely curious to see why that was.
Yeah. It's it's got a good reputation. It's not as well known as it should be, though.
Yeah, this is a really like forgotten gem.
Yeah.
I mean, people when you have a discussion about the great movies of the 80s.
Yeah, this should be included.
Like, people talk about Goodfellas, people talk about...
Well, Goodfellas is the 90s.
Oh, sorry, my bad. But like, people talk about, like, say, King of New York, Commando, E.T., all of those sort of movies. But
Debbie Does Dallas.
Debbie Does Dallas, of course. I'm pretty sure that was 79. Oh, no.
Fine then. Insatiable.
Sound, that'll do. But, this film never gets mentioned in that conversation, and that's very odd to me. I mean,
anyway, look, I'm assuming you're looking forward to talking about it.
I'm looking forward to this.
And I hope, I will say one thing though, right? We haven't really discussed the majority of the film right now. For the other movies that we've discussed in the past, okay, like with Break-In and Last American Virgin to a lesser extent, but like, Invasion USA, American Ninja and all that, right? The action, the icing movies, right? The sizzle films.
Absolutely.
Okay? I would say you could listen to the podcast without watching the film, right? Because I think the conversations themselves would be fun enough.
True.
However, and this sounds weird, but if you're listening to this podcast right now and you've never watched Runaway Train, just stop it now. Go back and watch the movie, and then join us for our discussion of it, because I don't want to spoil this movie on anyone.
Yeah, and you'll be doing yourself a favor.
Yeah, like it's actually on YouTube. Like there's a version of it on there.
If you can handle Portuguese subtitles, they're all good.
I mean, it's like, again, just a spoiler warning. I don't want to. I'd hate to deprive someone of that experience, the same one I had.
Absolutely.
You know? So stop it. Come back to us, okay?
Please do.
And if you've seen it, well, then you know what we're going to do. And so we should probably just jump straight into it. And let's rock and roll. Okay, and we're back from whatever that was, and to talk about a Runaway Train. The thing going through the credits here, right? I knew Konchalovskiy was involved in all that, but my eyes lit up when I saw based on a screenplay by Akira Kurosawa.
Yeah, that was fucking. I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
Holy shit.
And for those of you who don't know who Akira Kurosawa is, the guy's one of the greatest filmmakers of all time.
Yeah, in fact, if you don't know who Akira Kurosawa is, fuck off. That's all I can say to you. Just get the fuck out of here, life, whatever.
I'll say this though. Come back to us.
Yeah.
Once you've seen Ran.
Yeah.
And fucking Rashomon. And fucking
Seven
Samurai and Yojimbo.
Yeah. And The Last Fortress, which is so good. And
even Akira Kurosawa's Dreams, which is one of his last movies and one that's way underrated.
Yeah, that was the one where it took sort of like weird flights of fancy and psychedelia and stuff. Yeah.
Akira Kurosawa is flat out one of the greatest filmmakers of all time.
Absolutely.
Famously would do one take, like would just rehearse filmed into the ground and then do one. Like there's a sequence in Ran where like a feudal, a Sengoku era Japanese lord, he's in this big pagoda castle thing, and something really bad happens to him and his castle's on fire, and he walks towards the camera and all these like subjects are kind of watching him leave, and like they burnt down this massive pagoda set for real.
Yeah.
And they had one shot, like, you know.
Oh yeah.
And like the battle scenes was like 20,000 fucking extras all in.
Yeah.
You know,
this was long before the days of CGI.
Yeah, like you owe it to yourself to watch some Kurosawa. Like he's amazing. Like, but yeah, he wrote this. He originally wanted to make this film himself.
Yeah.
What happened was, I believe, he was going to direct it, and it went into production, but he was going to film it in New York.
Yeah.
In upstate New York, sorry. And what happened was there was really bad winter came in and just killed the production, like ruined the tracks that the train was supposed to be on and all the rest. And so he, like, basically the project was shelved. Somehow it came into possession of Konchalovskiy and Canon. Like, you know,
I was doing some research on it myself, and apparently Kurosawa wanted to cast Peter Falk in the lead role.
Yeah.
Columbo. I was like, that makes no fucking sense.
Well,
although
Peter Falk was in some stuff though. Did you ever see Wings of Desire?
No, I can't say I have.
It's Peter Falk. It's one of the crazy. It was remade. Is that shitty Nick Cage movie? What was it? City of Angels.
Oh God.
But no, Wings of Desire is really good.
Okay.
I think it was directed by Wim Wenders or Wim Wenders.
Okay.
I believe it was. It was one of the premier German directors of the 80s, and it's about two sets of angels who wander between East and West Berlin, and it's all about kind of like them observing life in both areas. And
interesting.
It's fucking great. And like this guy falls in love with a circus clown, like this angel. He falls in love with this girl, and she's a circus clown, and she travels from east to west. So he follows her. Nick Cave is in it a lot.
Really?
Yeah. Nick Cave is in a shitload, and he's
so like, it's one of those movies.
Yeah. He's doing live performances and stuff, like, you know.
Okay.
And it's like as Nick Cave, like not as like Kiss, but yeah.
You know, and here's street performer Kick Knave.
Yeah, no, he's really that movie's amazing. But Peter Falk Peter Falk plays himself in it.
Really?
Right? And the reason I bring this up, right, because it's one of the craziest characters ever, right? Peter Falk plays himself, and he knows when angels are around because he used to be one, and then he gave up being an angel to star in Columbo. And I'm sorry, after that description, if you don't want to see Wings of Desire, fuck off.
Yeah.
Alright? Like,
hang on, I'm just going on Pirate Bay for a second. Excuse me.
But no, it's really good. Like
that sounds amazing.
I saw it in college, and I remember it was for like a German cinema class, and I just remember sitting there going, "Holy shit, this film fucking rocks!" But
so anyways,
the start of the film, we see all of that kind of. We see Corso's name, we see the cast and all that, but it starts out with just prison footage.
Yeah,
and basically, there's a video inside the prison. Like, we were introduced to Eric Roberts' character, and I'll be honest with you, I can't remember his name, and I didn't fucking write it down.
Buck McGeehee.
Buck McGeehee, okay? He's boxing in a ring, and there's newsreel footage, and we find out there's this guy called Manny, played by John Voight, and I remember this stood out to me as a kid, where he's such a violent offender, he's been welded into his cell for the last 3 years.
Well, that's the thing, he... According to the man's backstory, he was a safecracker who had broken out of this prison 3 times. Yeah. And the only way they could keep him in was to put him in solitary and weld the door shut. Yeah. That was the only thing they could think of to keep him in. And, there was obviously some court case about it, which the...
Human rights case.
Yeah, which he won.
Yeah.
And we were introduced to the warden, where he's being interviewed by some reporter outside the court. Yeah. What do you think of this? And it's like, well, I think fuck him. He doesn't deserve any human rights because I don't consider him human. He's a fucking animal.
Yeah, and that's the theme of this film. Yeah. Can you remember the warden's name?
The warden's name was... Oh, Jesus, I know this.
Well, don't worry about it. Yeah. We'll just call him the warden. Yeah. Right? Because I didn't write his name down because I didn't catch it. Yeah. Okay, but the warden sees himself as the line almost between beast and man. Yeah. And that scene at the beginning where, like, our introductory scene, because, like, Eric Roberts' character, Buck, he's all excited because he worships Manny. Yeah. Because Manny's like a hero to the inmates in this asylum, or not asylum, the prison. And like the prison, the opening shots of it shows that it's this high security, maximum security prison in the middle of fucking nowhere, just snow everywhere.
Yeah, it's like up near glaciers in Alaska. Yeah, the kind of cold where you can see your nips 3 miles before you fucking arrive. Yeah, witch tit cold they call it up there.
But so he clearly worships Manny. He's excited that he's getting out of solitary. And there's a scene where the warden goes to visit Manny, and we get to see John Voight for the first time, and he is actually terrifying. There's something about his eyes, like the way he looks at the prison warden, like there's a pure animal in there. Yeah, and the warden again has this thing where it seems to me anyway the theme of this is the line between beast and man, and the warden considers himself that line.
I would disagree with that. When I saw that scene, what happens in it, the warden's giving him a bit of guff, about, I keep you in there forever. I keep you in there forever if I could. You said you would, but you promised me you would, and you didn't. Well, 3 years is good enough for me, you fucking animal. And Manny just no-sells being called an animal. But then about like 2 or 3 lines later, the warden threatens to open up the gate and just send in the guards to whomp the shit out of him. And that's when he stands up. It's like, come on then, you fucker. Come on.
No, but as I said, like the whole... And there's an end quote to this movie that, like, it's the line between man and beast, and, like, when this... Like, it's that thing where you're caging a human.
Yeah.
And treating him like a wild animal, like, And I just love how John Voight's character is like a jungle cat.
Yeah.
When he's... Like, sometimes he can be docile, and sometimes he can be completely the opposite. Yeah. Like, his character doesn't have a consistent action throughout the film. He just changes to suit the situation, like.
Well, I disagree with that. There's, his mood, his mood and his actions change, but his motivation never does.
Oh, he's motivated, but what I'm saying is, he's never consistent in that he will be nice and horrible to the same people.
Yeah,
like he doesn't like he's just pushing forward.
Yeah,
he's like the runaway train.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? He's just going to go through you. If he needs to be nice or he needs to be horrible to you, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, there's a scene later on where Eric Roberts goes, are we going to kill some people? He goes, if we have to. And that lets you know everything about that
Pretty
character.
much.
But the prison is fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's a grim shithole of a place.
But, like, that's what it should be,
Absolutely.
And anyway, we're introduced to him, and then when he gets back out, there's a lot of kind of hubbub because the celebrity that all the other prisoners think is awesome because he's escaped from the place 3 times. Like he's on the floor with the general population now. So basically what happens is there's a bit of to and fro, but we go to a boxing scene. Yeah. And Danny Trejo is boxing Eric Roberts.
Yeah, his first film role.
Yeah. And apparently John Voight's friend on the outside, the outside of the solitary, is played by Eddie Bunker. Now Eddie Bunker was probably more famous for being Mr.
Blue.
Mr. Blue?
Yeah.
In Reservoir Dogs, aka the old dude in Reservoir Dogs. But and an actual career criminal in real life.
And a best-selling author, fairly decent actor, but we'll go on with that later.
But they're kind of like straight away start planning to escape,
Yeah.
And that's the thing with John Voight's character. He's there going, he's fucking daring me to escape.
Yeah.
And like it's this kind of unspoken hatred between him and the warden.
But it's laced with this kind of respect.
Yeah, there's a weird kind of like.
Well, the warden respects him. I don't know if Manny respects the warden.
It's like a worthy hunt.
Exactly.
That kind of thing, But there's a boxing match anyway, and the warden has put a hit on fucking John Voight's character, Manny. And Eric Roberts is boxing Danny Trejo, and they did a pretty good boxing scene.
True.
But
Trejo does the job, which is like in reality never going to happen.
But anyway, there's a hit out on John Voight, and it's fucking gruesome. Yeah. This guy just stabs him through the arm and through the hand, and there's nothing bombastic about it. Yeah. You're just watching a man get stabbed.
Yeah.
And this is where you see how terrifying John Voight is in this movie. Because he just doesn't care.
Yeah. He's got this Max Cady style thing to him, where after he gets stabbed twice, that's when he gets pissed off. He picks up a chair with his fucked up hand, swings it at the guy, and he's walking up to the guy. He's like, "You want my blood? You want my blood?" Just flicks the blood from his hand at him. Now you got my blood. Come on, you want me? Come on, come get me.
That scene is disgusting.
Yeah,
where he just throws his own blood at this guy's face.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was immediately reminded of that scene in Fight Club where the gangster just beats the living fuck out of Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't know where I've been, Lou. It's like I got that out of it. It's like, this guy, you'd have to kill him to pull him down.
And he turns to the prison warden who's watching this, and he's there going, come on, motherfucker, I'm standing right here.
You want me? Come shoot me. Yeah. Shoot me, motherfucker.
Like, daring them to kill. Like, this guy's got a death wish. Like,
yeah.
You know?
Either that or he's got balls the size of overripe plums. I mean, there's...
It's just, like, that scene is so intense, you know? And, like, the prison guards run in and beat the shit out of Eddie Brunker's character, and they beat the tar out of him. And a full-on brawl comes out. The guy who tried to kill Eric Roberts is dead, and the last thing you see is someone lifting his head back to steal a chain off his neck.
Yeah,
it's pure.
Well, Eddie Brunker, I should say, stabs him in the stomach.
He does. He stabs him in the stomach. Yeah,
and it's like 3 or 4 times. It's fucking grim. It's like, where do these boys get fucking kitchen knives out of as well?
Yeah,
that was a question that never got addressed.
It's just pure harsh random violence, like, you know. And anyway, after this, this is where I noticed this is where the Veronica Moser thing kicks in. There's just a guy in the crowd just for no good reason wearing a t-shirt that just says "eat shit" on it.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Just eat shit.
Yeah, what was that about?
Maybe that's what he likes to eat.
Maybe so. I mean,
like, I do appreciate though people who just have that fuck you about them.
Yeah,
all day.
Maybe him and the black guy who was working as the ring girl for the fight were an item or something. You know, where two of them just sort of, squat on me there, Johnny. That sort of thing. I don't know.
But it's I like that though. I like just seeing people with just random, like, fuck you things on them. Just eat shit. Who's to eat shit? I don't know. All of you. Eat shit, you pricks. The
360 fucking middle finger.
Yeah. He's just like
a panoscopic fuck you, or panoramic, I should say.
Like, after this, Manny decides to escape because he's there going, look, he's going to kill me or I'm going to escape. One of the two. He tries to get Eddie Brunker's character to come with him, but Eddie Brunker's like, no, man, this is my home.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really cool kind of character trait, like that. The guy's so institutionalized that he's like, no, I run things in here. I'm nothing out there,
Yeah.
And he gets Eric Roberts to help him escape. Because Eric Roberts is the guy who pushes the laundry basket. So he hides in the laundry basket. At this point, it'd be fairly superfluous scene for us to discuss, where they're in the elevator and Eric Roberts distracts
the guard,
the guard, played by Tiny Lister.
Yeah, Zeus,
motherfucker,
Zeus.
Yeah. And from No Holds Barred,
and SummerSlam '89.
Oh man, No Holds Barred is a fucking awful film.
Oh, it's the worst.
Like, that film, I don't know. How do you make a film with a worse depiction of realism than 80s WWF?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And as well as that, how do you make a movie with Joan Severance in the 80s tease a sex scene and make me go, Jesus, I don't want to see that?
Well, there is an attempted rape scene.
There is that, yeah.
As far as I know, that film was written by Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan on a coke binge over 2 days.
Paul Schrader style.
Yeah, they had a script and they locked themselves into a motel room.
Oh god. Yeah, it probably started off as like Aronofsky's The Wrestler.
Yeah.
And it just turned into that.
Rip
him.
Oh, terrible. Anyway, yeah, he distracts Tiny Lister with porn with white women in it.
Yeah, yeah. And Eric Roberts says the brilliant line, "She may be white, but she's alright." Is it?
Yeah.
It's like, what?
It was around this time I realised...
Because racism is a Canon trope. Let's be perfectly fucking honest.
It was around that time I realised, though, that Eric Roberts' character is playing the man that Matthew McConaughey would grow up to be.
Well, what I got, I have it. I wrote it down somewhere. That he's got the voice of Jamie Dundee, and he's got the general personality of Lenny from Of Mice and Men.
Yeah.
Because he's the second banana in every.
Oh yeah, like Manny's going to escape, and Buck, is it?
Buck, yeah.
He just tags along.
Yeah, come on, man, take me with you, man.
Yeah. He just tags along, and so basically, all of a sudden, like, the escape is on.
Yeah.
And they escape the prison. It's really cool the way they do it. Like, there's all this kind of, like... They don't bother explaining to you what they're doing. Like, they grease up and put cling film on and all this kind of shit. And you have to kind of pay attention to what they're doing, because then you realise in a few scenes later why that shit makes sense.
Yeah.
You know? But there's really kind of intricate prison break where they use, like, a stolen vice to bend bars, and then they just drop into this frozen river once they get out. And, like, nothing goes to plan.
Oh, of course not.
You know, like, Eric Roberts doesn't have any fucking shoes, and he won't shut up about it. Like,
the plan involved a 30-foot drop into an Alaskan river.
Yeah.
So the plan wasn't great to begin with.
And but the escape is really cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, the ride scene was amazing. The characterization was great. Like, all of this kind of going on, and I just wrote the note. This movie fucking rules.
Yeah.
And like, you know, you're in good hands at this point. Like,
yeah.
You know?
As soon as they fell out of the tunnel at the end of like the prison escape, I was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck they're doing, I'm in.
And like, you got these two characters, one who loves the other.
Yeah.
Like, Buck loves Manny.
Yeah.
You hero worship, like, you know, and Manny, who fucking hates everyone.
Yeah.
You know.
Everyone. You know. Well, Manny's a fucking sociopath. Anyways,
oh yeah. As he says later on, I'm at war with the world. You know.
Yeah.
But what was it? They escape. They find a train yard, and obviously this is where the titular runaway locomotive comes into it. But what I loved is there was a kind of a non-existent score for the most part. All of a sudden, funk as fuck.
Yes.
There's that like synth funk like thing, and I was there going, okay, so you're giving me more cherries.
Yeah.
You know.
just
keep feeding me cherries, bro.
Absolutely.
You know. But
at this point, I'm feeling like I'm on a chaise lounge, and there's like, you know, there's Bjor's feeding me grapes. It's like that's the film, especially compared to the last thing we watched for this.
And but like, there's again really high tension scenes where they're breaking into conductors' offices to steal shit, and there's people coming and going. Like, it's like you're constantly on edge.
Yeah.
Even when they're standing still, you feel like they're moving forward.
Although, you know, there was in the middle of that scene where they're changing clothes, I felt like slapping Buck, where it's like, I need new shoes, man.
Yeah.
I need some shoes, man. Okay, I got some shoes. I need some socks, man. I need some socks.
Maybe. Right, based on what I've heard about Eric Roberts, right, he just remembered how he felt the night before when he needed some coke and put it on screen.
Quite possible.
I've just heard that. Alright?
Well,
I'm not saying that Eric Roberts snorts cocaine.
Yeah. On the reg.
On the reg.
But
he might.
He might.
I mean, for all you know, I might. I don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, anything could be.
You know,
anything's possible.
I might.
Yeah. Everything's possible and nothing is real. And other Living Colour lyrics.
Everything is, you know, nothing is true. Everything's permitted.
You know, I mean, for all you know, though, Eric Roberts could be snorting cocaine through $100 bills while punching hookers in the neck.
Right now. He could be doing it as we speak. As you hear this, you know, and considering the amount of people who hear this, that's going to be a lot of hooker punching.
Yeah.
But Eric Roberts is probably the man for the job.
But, you can just see that application, the Galway Advertiser, in there. But wanted.
He's been going through the Escort Ireland website, you know.
Okay.
He travels over to Ireland to do it.
Why wouldn't he?
Of course, we've got the best hookers.
You know, but he says a man with experience.
What the fuck am I on about?
But we'll go by the rating system on escort-ireland.com. There are quite a lot of high quality prostitutes.
Apparently so,
Ireland,
yeah.
You know?
Well, you know, orgasms, they're fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, that would be the best review. Was I put me yoke in her and then I came. I guess I can't complain. Or the opposite end of that would be a woman going, well, his dick got hard and he lobbed it right in there.
Yeah.
Hit the back of me neck. 5 stars. You know, it's
I'm waiting for the review. She let me watch the All Ireland semi-final while we were on the job.
Yeah.
Fucking A1, 5 stars.
It's anyway, like it's
But
back to the
going
film.
back to the film, the thing about Buck, as far as I understand it in the movie, I mean, he's young, dumb, he's full of cum, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Manny calls him out on this, and he's absolutely right that Buck just sees this all as a game.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. It's perfectly played.
Yeah,
because you can tell that Manny is just there going, I'm gonna fucking escape.
Yeah.
Whereas Buck is like, oh man, this is so cool. I get to do a prison escape with my hero.
Yeah.
You know.
He thinks it's going to be hanging out with Bruce Campbell and knocking back shots of tequila.
Yeah.
It's going to be fucking grim.
Do you know what film this really reminded me of?
What's that?
Or another film really reminded me of this film, should I say? Ready to Rumble.
How so?
Remember when Jimmy the King and David Arquette were hanging out and like they realised he's a cunt?
That is the one and only time that a fucking byline will be made between those two films.
I'll just say this, right? If you're thinking about watching Ready to Rumble,
fuck off.
No, just don't.
Just don't.
Alright, watch something else instead.
Or just whack yourself in the balls with a lump hammer. I
mean,
it's...
And if you're a wrestling fan with self-esteem problems,
yeah,
don't watch it.
Oh,
especially now.
No, you'll...
And if you're a Frank Zappa fan,
yeah,
just don't see his children shame him.
Yeah, or if you admire the work of Oliver Platt,
yeah,
don't watch that. In fact, if you're a sentient carbon-based life form,
don't watch Ready to Rumble.
Anyways.
Imagine if that was in this movie.
Oh god.
The train going along.
Yeah, just the intro to the next scene. Oh, it'd fucking ruin it.
Oh god.
It would ruin it so much.
That's what they should do to combat piracy. They put a torrent version with that shitty lit song playing in the background every time it's cut into a new train shot.
Actually, do that with every film. You know, like the scene in Shawshank Redemption where the fucking opera music is being played, where all the boys are looking up, but instead of the beautiful aria, it's just
fuck off. I fucking hate that song. It's one of the worst songs I've ever heard.
The worst thing is I know the lyrics to it as well. I can go on past that.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh,
it's the worst.
I was, for a while, I was chasing a girl who loved that song. So I I listened to it a lot.
You know what? I have a message for her.
What?
Fuck off. But,
so do I. Fuck off.
But, yeah, like, they're on... They spot this train, and it's like, I think the reason that John Voight's character wanted to hop on this train is because it's the most metal looking train in the world.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like a Danzig album is a train.
Oh yeah.
You know, this big black metallic monster, like.
Yeah, I was, as soon as this train came in, I was thinking, with the rebel, yeah, we want more.
It's just like, it's such a cool train, like, and the two boys they hop on it.
Yeah.
But then the engineer.
Yeah, the
engineer has a heart attack, and the train just takes off.
Yeah.
Hence, Runaway Train, which I'm sure the guys in Soul Asylum were at this point inspired to write a film about runaways.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
All right, like.
Listen,
that's not going in this podcast.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want Runaway Train in there.
If you're a Soul Asylum fan, fuck yourself.
But, look, I don't know, maybe... Look, I'm not having a go.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm just saying. You can have a go.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just a song that I'm not really fond of, and it's too obvious a pun.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's no doubt playing right now.
No doubt. Knowing Good Brother, it most definitely is.
Yeah. What you call it? Well, speaking of Good Brother, okay, the train's running away, right, and I realised something, right? You see the warden, prison warden, and he's there going, I'm going to fucking catch these dudes, and like he's got a helicopter chasing them. There's all this incredible photography of like a glacier. And at this point I realised I was there going, wait a minute, this film is about a prison warden, and I haven't written a good Big Boss Man joke yet.
No, right?
What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
He's from Cow County, Georgia,
Yeah.
no doubt, like, you know.
You know, because when the warden lays the law on the line, you better watch your boat, or you'll be serving hard time.
That's exactly what I hear. You know? And he's kind of like a guardian angel figure. This big Bubba the Warden.
He kind of is, you know.
And if he ran a prison as stupid as you, he'd pray for a break so he can die too. But and you know, because Manny and Buck were behaving badly and they escaped, like, you know. But anyway, like, they get on the train and the two boys they're on there and they're kind of having a heart-to-heart at this point. Like, they realize there's no one else on the train. And they're like, we're out of here, man. We're good to go. Like,
Yeah.
You know? And at this point, Buck tries to get Manny interested in her bank job.
Yeah.
Manny's a safe cracker.
Absolutely.
He goes, man, I know this fucking thing. He's like, man, I'm gonna fucking crack that safe. I'm gonna get 500 grand. I'm gonna go to Vegas. I'm gonna go to
Mardi Gras.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have enough money in my hip pocket to get all them fine bitches. And all this.
Yeah.
And then John Boyd just launches into this incredible monologue.
Yeah, it's like, no, you're not.
Yeah. You know what? Good brother, cut the audio in on this one.
Yeah, that's what I've been dreaming about. A really good score, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna party. Oh, yeah, shit. I'm gonna go to Mardi Gras. I'm gonna go to Vegas. And I'm gonna go with enough money in my hip pocket to catch them fine bitches, you know what I mean? You know, I spend almost every night of my life dreaming about this kind of shit.
Dreaming?
Yeah.
Dreaming. That's bullshit. You're not gonna do nothing like that.
I'll tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna get a job. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna get a little job, some job a convict can get. Like scraping off trays in the cafeteria or cleaning out toilets. And you're gonna hold on to that job like gold. Because it is gold. Let me tell you, Jack, that is gold. You listen to me? And when that man walks in at the end of the day, and he comes to see how you done, you ain't gonna look in his eyes. You're gonna look at the floor. Because you don't want to see that fear in his eyes when you jump up and grab his face and slam him to the floor and make him scream and cry for his life. So you look right at the floor, Jack. Pay attention to what I'm saying, motherfucker. And then he's gonna look around the room, see how you done. He's gonna say, oh, you missed a little spot over there. Geez, you didn't get this one here. What about this little bitty spot? And you're gonna suck all that pain inside you, and you're gonna clean that spot. And you're gonna clean that spot until you get that shining clean. And on Friday, you pick up your paycheck. And if you could do that, you could be president of Chase Manhattan Corporations. If you could do that.
Not me, man. I wouldn't do that kind of shit. I'd rather be in fucking jail.
More's the pity, youngster. More's the pity.
Could you do that kind of shit?
I wish I could. I wish I could.
There you go. That's the kind of acting we're dealing with in
Yeah.
this movie, like, you know.
And this comes out of nowhere as well. I mean, he just explodes into this.
It's just it's a great scene though. Like,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
you know he's talking about like the domesticated man.
Yeah.
You know, and how he just can never be that guy.
Like he kind of cares for Buck in this movie, but kind of not as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he cares to him up until the point he's going to get in the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think what this kind of is, this is like a veiled admission from Manny.
Yeah.
That his life is shit.
Yeah. Like,
And
there's
it
that bit-
it always has been, and it always will be.
You've just heard that audio though, where he's like, you know, he's like, go do the job, do a fucking job, a man's job, get paid, and hold on to that stupid job because it's gold.
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, fuck you, man, I wouldn't do that shit. would you do that shit? And the step where he goes, I wish I could.
Yeah.
You know, but instead he's just this fucking beast. Like, you know, he can't help but be this, like, he's a force of nature almost.
Yeah,
like,
pretty
you know?
much.
But the train is pumping along, and at this point I was like, okay, this train is an allegory for these two guys.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't take a fucking genius to figure that one out.
I know, right?
You know, but still, I was like, kind of genius.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in its simplicity. There's a very poetic kind of
that
bent
it's,
to
you know,
this
that
film.
it's two lives spinning out of control on a vehicle that's spinning out of control.
Yeah. And like the fact that like the train at one point it bursts through the caboose of a train that's on a similar track. And the train becomes mangled, and then you realise that both of them are kind of mangled. Yeah. And it's just, it is them. The train is them. In many respects.
Every now and again, for the rest of the movie, it cuts to a shot just shot from behind of that mangled front of the train.
Yeah.
Where there's like bits of metal hanging off it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking at the time, it's like when those boys go out, like a bit of metal is going to come off and just like slice into them or something.
Yeah.
But it never actually happens. What it is, you know, it is what you said there.
Yeah.
And as well as that, I just want to say the scene where it bursts through the caboose on that is fucking great.
Yeah, right? It's so dangerous.
Yeah, because this is why this movie could only be an 80s movie, right? Because if you were to make this movie, you know, even for any time in the last 15 years, they'd CGI the shit out of that. It'd look fake as all fuck, and you would be and you just wouldn't give a crap.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, you watch this and it's like that's clearly the fucking rear axle of a caboose flying 20 feet in the fucking air.
Yeah, yeah. And
that shit's amazing.
They had a stunt guy.
Yeah.
On the caboose bit that gets hit, who jumps off before the train smashes through.
Like about 2 seconds beforehand.
Yeah.
Balls of solid titanium on that boy.
And like this is the first of a lot of crazy stunt work on the train.
Yeah. Like, did we mention the controllers yet?
Oh yeah, there's controllers in the central office for the railway, and they're constantly manipulating the tracks.
Yeah. And they have the most useless secretary in the history of fucking movies. Because we're hitting on the other Canon trope here. Mild misogyny.
Mild?
Okay, more than mild. Fair enough.
Isn't there a bit where, like, spoiler for the rest of the film, but Rebecca De Mornay, she turns up as the third person on the train. Alright? And basically what happens is, your man goes, God damn it, there's a person on the train and it would have to be a woman. So she's probably going to get distracted by a tea party any minute now. You know what I mean? She'll be trying to fix the train's couplings in her high heels.
Oh yeah, but in fairness, your wand is absolutely useless. One of the guys like, would you answer the phone? And her just applying lipstick is like, you're pretty enough. Come on, answer the fucking phone. Yeah. And,
in that accent.
Yeah. You know, despite being the only black man in Alaska, you know, he's got that voice. Yeah. He's got my voice.
But it's like there is a whole like kind of there's an extra layer of tension with those characters because they're constantly manipulating the tracks to try and get that train away from the general populace because if not, it's going to crash into into other trains or whatever else. And like there's 2 or 3 points of danger. There's a bridge coming up and there's a chemical plant.
Oh no, it's a train with loads of chemicals on it.
Oh okay, yeah. And so they have to make the decisions at certain points, like you know, and like what happens is the woman appears in the train, played by Faye Dunaway, and she her name isn't the woman, but you know what I mean.
Rebecca De Mornay.
Rebecca De Mornay,
not Faye Dunaway.
Did I say Faye Dunaway?
Yes, you did.
Faye Dunaway, who's she?
We're doing a movie podcast and you're going, who's Faye Dunaway? Fucking
Who is Faye Dunaway? What's she ever been
Chinatown.
Who's she ever beat?
Huh?
Who'd she ever beat?
I think she bet Brock Lesnar in his first night out. No, that was Frank Mir. I'm getting confused here.
Fucking Faye Dunaway. Yeah. Get out of here with that shit. Who did she... Tell you who she didn't beat.
Who?
Charles Manson.
That's true.
No, that was the other one, wasn't it?
That was Roman... That's Roman Polanski.
Roman Reigns' wife.
Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
Oh God.
She worked the Alabama territory. But, yeah,
You know, the Taskmaster was in that.
he's
as
there
well,
going,
I
brother, I'm gonna kill your wife.
Yeah.
And he said, you can believe that.
Oh God. Much like the fucking train and the allegory as an allegory for the characters, it's also an allegory for this podcast, because this is fucking spinning out of control.
I know,
here.
yeah, we're on an hour here. I need to start tightening up, like, you know, start tightening up my ring game
Absolutely.
here. But anyway, the train is out of control. Now I'm gonna jump forward here a little bit, okay? Where like they go over the bridge. It's like this dangerous bridge.
Yeah.
But there's the woman has a Faye Dunaway. She is
Rebecca Demorne.
Sorry. Bo Derek has this plan to slow the train down, right?
So Special K is on the case.
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
Right?
She's got this plan to. In fairness, their names are somewhat similar.
Yeah. Okay.
Demorne, Dunaway.
Okay. Fair point.
All right. Fucking. On top of that, I think I added Chinatown to my my list on Netflix. So
right.
That's where I'm getting that. Anyway, Bette Midler is on the train. And,
I got a one couple the trains.
But Rebecca De Mornay's character, she goes, look, if we break these wires, the train will start to slow down.
Yeah.
And they try to get it to slow down. They don't know the bridge is coming, but the other people know the bridge is coming.
Yeah.
So there's this kind of dramatic irony going on where you're like, holy shit, this bridge is going to get all fucked up.
Yeah.
And like the train passes over the bridge, but like it wrecks it. Like you know.
And in the build up to this, it's a long build up to this scene where it's going over the bridge, and you can see that there's sleepers loose on this fucking thing. It's just a wooden bridge, and it's like, if this, you know, unless this thing slows down considerably, it's going to make fucking bits of this bridge.
And it does.
And
they barely make it through.
Yeah. But the entire time you're on the edge. I was on the edge of me fucking seat.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit!
It's one of those moments where you can feel your arse tighten.
Yeah.
You know.
And best recent experience I had with that was like Fury Road.
Yeah.
You know, where I was watching that going, holy fuck, they're gonna get fucked up.
Yeah.
And it felt real.
Well,
really real.
Yeah. It's and that, like, if you like Mad Max, this is the kind of movie for you, because
hells yes.
practical train terror effects.
Oh
like,
god, yeah.
But like it's so scary when they're going from train car to train car, because literally it's a train on a track, like, you know, and like there's no safe way to get across, like, you know. But like, you just see underneath them the world is pummeling by, like, you know,
and all these slats and sleepers just flying off.
Yeah,
they barely fucking make it.
But we'll go, like, to go back to the train office. The lead guy who's trying to,
the warden.
Yeah, he's trying to direct the train.
Yeah.
Alright. The warden appears and he's wanting fucking info on the train so he can go stare down Void. Like, you know? Yeah. And the train conductor guy, the lead guy, goes, "Why don't you shut the fuck up, you stupid bitch?" Blah blah blah. And then he goes into the toilet, and next thing the warden just follows him in, stone-faced. He like grabs him, drowns him in his own piss in the toilet, picks him up, kicks the shit out of him, and goes, "Yes, I figured you wouldn't be in the mood to back up that loud conversation you were offering me out there." Pounds him a bit more, backs him up against the wall, hands him a fucking towel, and goes, "Wipe the piss off your face and help me to find this train." And I was like, "Oh my god, that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen."
Oh, and he does this thing. It's like, you know, if these guys get away, there'll be a prison riot.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a prison riot in a maximum security prison? Your brain can't process it.
Yeah.
It's such a great line.
There's so much menace in that guy, though. Like, you know.
No, your brain isn't big enough to process it. It's like, and I was like, you are the fucking man. I know you're the villain and everything. Yeah. But god damn.
Well, both him and fucking Voight are kind of the villains of this thing. Like, you know. There's no real heroes in this.
No, God no.
They get to the front of the train basically at a certain point, and they're like, "Right, we need to uncouple all the trains or all the bits so we'll slow down and we can jump off. And there's no way to get to the front car. The front car is barreling ahead.
Yeah.
And basically, through the kind of hero worship, Manny convinces Eric Roberts' character Buck to go and get to the front thing. Because there's no walkway, there's no safe way to do it, so he has to climb over a frozen, moving a million miles an hour train.
Yeah, and he goes out on the side of it and he's climbing up on this thing.
Yeah.
And the whole time Manny is just going, you're the man, you're a champion, you're a tiger. Come on, you can do this.
You can do it. You can. And by the way, I need to point this out.
Yeah.
There's an actual dude climbing on the front of a speeding train like this.
Yeah.
It's there's no special effects
on
here.
A fucking locomotive, and it's like one slip and you're fucked, son.
Yeah, and it's not moving slow.
No, it's it's going a fair clip. That thing's doing at least 67
It's a
miles
runaway
an hour.
train.
Yeah.
but like it's
speed is kind of implied.
Yeah.
That.
But it's powering ahead, and like might be my favorite scene outside of the other one, right? Where he's going, yes, do it, come on. Because he needs him to do it because he can't. He's too afraid. His hand is still fucked up from when he got stabbed earlier on. And all this. He's like, yeah, go, do it. And Eric Roberts chickens out.
Yeah.
And when he comes back in, instead of going,
yeah,
he tries to lock him out first.
Yeah.
And then when Eric Roberts' character comes in, he kicks the shit out of him, man. He just kicks him around.
You wanted to be a tough guy. You can't even do that.
Yeah.
And he's laying it in. And it's the exact same thing as he was doing just like a minute ago.
Yeah.
Where he was, he was trying. All he wanted was to get to this guy to get to the other end because otherwise he was fucked.
Yeah.
That's all he cared about.
He's just transferred that energy to kicking him around the place.
Yeah. To this absolute fucking rage.
He's both positively and negatively charged at all times.
Yeah.
Like you
and
just
it can flip.
You don't know what you're going to get. Like,
yeah.
It's like a Tesla coil.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's fucking outstanding. Like this character is the distillation of all the kind of grey area characters that we see in fiction nowadays.
Yeah.
Like he's it, but smashed into one man.
Yeah. And this is Eric Roberts' best scene in the movie as well. This is Buck's fucking transformative moment.
Where he's upset and understandably so.
Where he takes out his wrench against Buck's knife.
Yeah.
And they start swinging at each other.
Yeah. Oh, that scene where it goes quiet.
Yeah.
And the two of them realize, like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're fucked either way.
Yeah.
And you can see in Buck's eyes at that moment where it's like the hero is gone.
Yeah.
Whereas like I thought this guy was something he clearly is not.
Yeah, and look, I wouldn't mind. Manny never said he was that thing.
Yeah.
He's been telling him the whole film. He's like, I'm not your fucking hero. Like,
Yeah. And it is sort of like it's weird when you're talking about a fucking convict when you say this, but it's sort of the end of innocence for this guy. You know what I mean?
Rebecca De Mornay, her character, she bites bites Voight's hand and takes his knife away from him, so he's got
and chucks it out the window.
Yeah. So there's none of that, they're done.
Yeah.
It's like there's this kind of weird what is the point? Why are we wasting energy on this?
I think it was just like Buck could have fucked him up at that point.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't have it in him.
Yeah.
Whereas like if it was the other way around, Manny would have caved his fucking skull in.
Yeah.
I mean, and probably done the same to your one as well, like.
And here comes like another thing. The warden is finally on top of it. Like the helicopter, he's in his chasing the train.
Yeah.
And he
stopped for pepper steak along the way.
Yeah. His best man, I guess, is at the bottom of this ladder. And like there's literally a helicopter chasing a speeding train with a dude hanging off it. Like it's nuts. Like.
Yes.
And anyway, what happens is after a long protracted sequence, the guard touches down, but the inertia of the train throws his feet off, and he falls head first into the fucking glass cabinet of the compartment that the three guys are in.
Yeah.
And then begins another amazing sequence where like the guy's dead. He gets and pure Mad Max shit where his body goes under the wheels of the train.
Yeah.
And I remember at that point going, "Oh God, oh God!" I saw But
Yeah.
then John Voight.
Now that could have been a lot gorier than they made
Oh
it.
yeah.
It could have been.
There's a gory moment coming up though.
Yeah.
But John Voight then gets out the window, and in one of the best sequences ever, is just him going, "Fuck you, you piece of shit!" Like,
Yeah.
he's
Come and get me.
he's just daring the
Yeah.
warden, who then takes the bait,
Yeah.
and decides to try and climb down the ladder onto
Yeah.
the train, even though he's seen his boy get mangled, like you
Yeah.
know.
And it was around this point in the film where they transfer onto like a dead end rail.
Yeah,
And she works for the railroad. She knows what it is.
yeah. She's like they've given up.
They've
on
given
us.
up on us. And it was at that moment where, she sits down beside Buck and is like, hold me. And
Yeah.
I just don't want to die alone. And that's when fucking Manny just roars at her, we all die alone!
Yeah.
And I was like,
There's also that
Oh.
moment though where he goes, like he is pure spirit.
yeah.
Like the warden's coming for him, and he just goes, "Fuck it!" climbs out the window and jumps out.
Yeah.
Like, jumps for it.
Yeah.
To get to the last car.
Mm.
And this is where we get the most gruesome sequence in the film.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because he doesn't make it. He
Yeah.
falls onto these wires that are connecting the train, There's like a hinge that the trains are connected on.
the coupling.
The coupling,
Yeah.
that's exactly the word I was looking for, right? So he needs to grab onto that to pull himself up so he can get to the last car.
Yeah.
And what he does is he puts his fingers in a crease.
Yeah, in the coupling.
In the couple, and it passively crushes his fingers.
Yeah.
Like, it's gross.
Yeah.
But, like, what I loved about it, and the more I thought about it, I was like, it's amazing. Like, the train just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing bombastic about it. It was like, look at this just happened.
Yeah, and it's just like a bit of blood just spurts out, and he grabs his hand, and that's
And his hand is ruined.
yeah. If you were a less subtle director, would have made a huge deal out of this, where it would have been like the big John Williams, diddlin, diddlin, dun, dun, But in this film, it's just sort of like, oh Jesus,
And like by the end of it, Voight is on the last train car.
Yeah.
And his hand is as mangled as the front of the train, and I was like, "This is beautiful. Like this is cinematic poetry. Like
And it was around this time where the warden, badassedly, let's be perfectly fucking honest, lands on the front engine of this train.
Yeah.
And he gets in there. Or the two in the last car, they're just sort of sitting waiting to die.
Yeah.
And that's when it becomes all about these two guys. And the warden comes in, and fucking Manny manages to get the drop on him with a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
And there's a mad scuffle, where the two of them, there's no style to this. It's just
poking each other,
fight to the death. And Manny gets the upper hand in it. He manages to handcuff the warden.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, alright, all he has to do, he needs to push the button on the fuel cut-off thing.
Yeah.
The whole train will come to a stop. But he doesn't.
Yeah.
And the warden, it kicks in with the warden before it kicks in with me, what he's doing.
He's going, stop it. Stop the train.
You think you're some hero?
Yeah.
You're fucking scum. It's like, I might be scum, but you're coming with me.
Yeah. It's that moment though where the warden can't do anything.
Yeah.
And then Manny, he goes outside and uncouples the front train from the other. He saves the life of Buck and the girl. And there's this whole extracted scene, and we can't really do it justice.
Yeah. What's Gloria in D major by Vivaldi starts playing.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful piece of music. And Buck, he goes outside, he climbs up on top of the locomotive.
Well, Manny goes outside.
Oh, Manny, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
And Manny, he climbs up on top of this and just arms out in the Jesus pose, let's be fucking honest here.
Yeah.
And that's the end of your movie.
But this is the thing, right? We've got Manny and we've got the warden. And we know nothing about them.
Yeah.
We've seen them do stuff.
Yeah,
But all we know is that they fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
And Manny decides, you know what, I'm going out.
Yeah.
and if I'm going out my way.
Yeah.
And like, there's a quote that appears at the end of it. It's from Richard III. No beast so fierce, but knows some touch of pity. But I know none, and therefore am no beast.
Yeah.
That appears, and that's the end of the movie.
And
like,
that, at the end of this movie, is a fucking stiff shot.
Yeah. Like, but like the fact that Manny gets up on top of this train, and like it's running out of control. It's heading towards a dead end. We never see it crash.
No.
But we know it's there.
Yeah.
And what happens, like, Manny's standing there on top of this train, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to die, but I'm going to fuck death on the way out.
Yeah.
Like, it's that.
You can almost see the middle fingers cocked.
Well, if he only got the one.
Yeah, he's only got the one, but he's fucking. It's up in the air at this point.
It's just that thing where he's just like, I'm going to keep going forward.
Yeah.
I'm going forward. I'm not going to stop. And it's pure will.
Yeah.
It's like it's the line between man and beast. It's the line between fucking sanity and insanity. Like, Manny as a character rests. He's like, he's good and evil.
Yeah.
He's both.
Absolutely.
He's both at all times. He's the capacity for everything.
Yeah.
You know?
And if he is one or the other at that given moment, he is that 100%.
Yeah, he's just,
you know, it's this sort of weird hyperactive bipolar thing going on in that dude.
Just wildness.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, he realizes that that's just the way he is. That's the way he's made, whether it's nature or it's nurture or whatever the fuck it is.
Go back to that scene earlier on. I wish I could do a normal man's work.
Yeah, if I could be a normal man, my life would be better.
But again,
it's undeniable.
The kind of the imagery of him and the mangled man and the mangled train as one.
Yeah.
You know, like they're one being
racing towards oblivion.
Yeah.
And it's
like, look, I'm just gonna say this.
Yeah.
It's one of the best films I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's,
and,
it is like top 5 films I've watched in about the last decade.
Yeah.
And I watch a lot of fucking movies. This is a fucking amazing film. I don't know if it's ever gotten a Blu-ray release or a DVD
it has,
reissue
it's on
or something.
it's on my wish list.
Fucking get it. I want. And that I've never asked to watch a Blu-ray of yours before. I'm going to fucking ask to watch that one.
Well, it comes with a DVD, like, so
Excellent.
I'm not going to use, like, so.
Sound. But this is, by a country mile, the best film we've covered in the middle of doing this project.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the best films of the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and there's no higher praise than that. I mean,
no, and the sad thing is, after the fact, is that it was kind of not critically snubbed so much, but kind of ignored by the Academy and all this kind of stuff.
Well,
and I'll say this, right?
Well, Voight did win a Golden Globe.
Oh, he did, yeah. Oh, yeah. But I mean, by the Academy.
Oh, yes,
right?
yes.
And I think it's kind of unfair because a film like this, its lifeblood is its praise.
Yeah.
And its acclaim. You know, I mean, when we look at films like, say, 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah.
Right? Which is a fucking great movie, and I would recommend everybody seeing it.
Absolutely, yeah.
But, like, 12 Years a Slave comes out the same week as Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not going to do so well.
No. I know which one I'm watching.
12 Years a Slave, you need to be told how important that movie is.
Yeah.
You need to be told about films like, you know, people aren't going to make their own mind up. Like, people make their minds up all the time about shitty Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah.
And they go, oh yeah, look at that. That looks fun.
Pixels is going to make money.
Yeah.
Process that.
Whereas, like, people need to be kind of informed about movies like this. And I'm not saying that we're the fuckers to inform them.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, our word isn't going to carry much weight.
But what I'm saying is, I'm the kind of person who I there's critics and stuff that I respect and listen to because I want to know where the next Runaway Train is going to come from.
Absolutely.
And if this film at all was dismissed because of its association to Canon, well, then those critics should be fucking ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
I'll say this as well. I felt a real pride for Golan-Globus at the end of this movie, because I was like, a lot of people like would look at Menachem and Yoram and go, these two fucking losers
Yeah,
made all these shitty movies.
These two fucking shysters.
Yeah. No, I don't stand by that. That's a joke. Okay.
Yeah.
But like they go, and like there's always that story about how like they were dreaming of winning the Oscar or something.
Yeah.
And like people would go, oh, Menachem Golan, like he claims he loves like classic cinema but makes schlock and all that. Guess what? They fucking did it.
Yeah.
They made one of the best fucking movies ever.
And it's weird. We've been doing this. We've been doing this a few months now,
Yeah.
and we were on like episode 10, episode 11, something like that. And yeah, something like that. And I feel kind of like from watching these movies, we've kind of become more and more Canon boys as it goes along. So yeah, I felt a real sense of these boys were really fucking good.
Yeah.
You know, at times. Now, granted, they made some atrocious shit besides.
Oh yeah.
But when they got
Barbarians.
when they got it right,
Yeah.
they got it so fucking right.
But like it was like well done, lads. I genuinely felt home team pride
Absolutely,
watching this
yeah.
movie and going fucking right on, guys.
Right on,
You
boys.
nailed it. Like that. Like it's just so great. Like what we've been talking about can't do that film justice.
Yeah.
I really hope that you've watched this movie before you've listened to this show.
Yeah.
Other films that we've covered, I wouldn't mind people listening to us first.
Absolutely.
Because let's face, I like the Enter the Ninja, shall we say?
Yeah.
But it's not a very weighty film.
Yeah,
Okay?
I really enjoy.
Franco Nero in Enter the Ninja doesn't compare to John Voight in Runaway Train.
No, I really enjoyed Breaking. That's been my guilty pleasure so far of this.
That's the weird thing. This film has sadly knocked Breaking off the top spot of my favourite films that we've covered.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it's Breaking's still in the top 3 for me.
Yeah.
But this is Runaway. And excuse the awful fucking pun. This is Runaway number 1 right now.
It's number 1 with a bullet train. But
oh, we had to get a few train puns in there, didn't we?
Yep. It's oh god, I loved it. I absolutely fucking adored it.
Yeah.
With that, like there was a lot of discussion earlier on about unwanted sequels from Canon.
Yeah.
And I think with our next picture, we are going to celebrate one of the great unwanted sequels.
Yes, oh yay.
We're because it's been knocked off the top spot, but it's still number 1 in our hearts.
Yeah.
Because for the next picture that we will take in on the Canon, we're going to discuss Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Party people in the place to be. This is what you've all been waiting to see. Electric Boogaloo, the ultimate show with Kelly, Ozone, and Turbo. Electric Boogaloo is breakdance too. Guess who? Hi. Electric Boogaloo's action dance, the best you'll get. If you like breakdance when you ain't seen nothing yet.
I'll finish you, your friends, and your whole damn neighborhood.
This time there is an enemy, so they must unite. Because to say what you believe in, sometimes you must fight.
You lost your edge. Try me.
Electric Boogaloo's the greatest, nothing can compete. And once you've seen this movie, you'll believe in the beat. A Golan-Globus production. Another good one from Canon.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to this one. I hear it's one of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah, we've watched The Barbarians. That can't be true.
Oh, it's going to be step up from Barbarians and Bolero.
Oh, fuck
I mean,
yeah.
something tells me they're not going to, sexually exploit a child throughout the film.
And I'd love to see that fucking breakdance. See how that shit works.
Oh, like Jeffrey Leonard just pops and locks into the frame. Jimmy Savile's playing the tunes.
Yeah.
He was a DJ after all.
A Chaka Khan Gary Glitter mashup. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Anyways, where was I?
I just want that. I want someone to isolate that audio of you singing that and remix the Gary Glitter original with it.
Oh, thanks, because I really need to be associated with that.
For my pleasure, yes. You're the one who fucking sang it.
That is true.
But,
I did.
Yeah, no, I will say this: it was fun to be back talking about Canon movies again after an extended break.
Yeah.
If anyone was waiting for this podcast, I'm sorry if we disappointed you. I'm sorry if this one wasn't as chucklesome as our usual ones.
Yeah, because we had a real fucking movie to talk
we had
about.
a weighty discussion.
Yeah.
Finally, those 3 years of film school are paying off for me.
And all those years of reading Empire and being pretentious have started working for me. So.
Yeah, it's like this film was great to talk about, and I love action movies and all that other stuff. Like, I love it all, you know. But every now and then, it's great to just take in a true adult cinema experience.
Yeah,
and that's what this is a weighty film for adults.
And it does have train crashes in it as well.
It does. It's also metal as fuck.
I'm doing the double devil horns right now.
Too much metal for one hand.
Fuck yes.
But it's this movie fucking rocked, and it was a pleasure to talk about it.
Yeah.
And, next time, of course, we'll be back with a bit more of a joke-heavy episode. But as you can, as I'm sure anyone who's listened to our show in the past, it's an ebb and flow.
That is true. That is true.
We're not all. There's nothing to joke about with Runaway Train.
Yeah.
The movie was just great.
The only things I could think to joke about were Voight's comedy mustache.
Yeah.
And even that was his performance is too fucking good. I feel like I would be disrespecting the man if I made fun of it.
Yeah, it was fucking wonderful.
Absolutely.
And anyway, I'm Johnny Capcom, and you will be Sean Sheridan.
Absolutely.
And you can follow us on the Facebook page and interact with us probably more often on the Canon Films Appreciation Group. And we always appreciate the people on the Canon Films Appreciation Group.
Yeah, love you guys.
Giving us a few listens and a few bits of feedback. And it's a great group to be a part of. I love being a part of that group.
Yeah, if you're just a fan of movies in general,
yeah,
you're in good company with those people.
And I'm on Twitter. I'm Johnny Capcom. You're a robot house, Sean, right?
Yeah.
And you can find our Facebook group at facebook.com/the Canon. And obviously the Giant Media Ball page. You can get in contact with people there. I don't know. I mean, there are many ways to reach out to us if you want to ever interact with us for any good particular reason. And so we're going to come back in a few weeks with in 2 weeks, should I say, with Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo, and we hope you'll join us there and then. And I guess it'll just be a quick goodbye from both of us. So
bye.
I'll catch your ass down the road.